Hi guys, I'm MC Crew of Truth, and today I want to talk about Simon Parkes and his court case with the BBC. Now, I've just made a video the other day around a court case. I did it with Marie Chiali, and we kind of had said that perhaps he was trying to say to anyone that we know that he likes to threaten court action. He was trying to make it out as if people were disappearing that were criticizing him, making videos about him. Some people have said to me, well, what I'd heard from CC is that you've disappeared because you're in a court case with Simon. And then I found a video around to talk about his court case, and it turns out it's the same court case that he's been talking about over and over and over again. However, what he's telling his viewers is it was a court case against the BBC, right, and not an individual necessarily. And then he's sometimes saying it's against one individual with the BBC, saying it's two men. Let's look into that. First of all, let me introduce. I'm here today with Intel Lady, or Jen of the Intel Lady channel. So I just want to say hello. Hello, Jen.
Hey, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. I'm really happy to be back on camera with you.
Yay!
Yeah, it's
reunited.
Great. Reunited once again on a video. We're usually part of the Griffbusters crew. And we've kept in contact all this time that I've been off, but it's great to see you again. And we've obviously also talked a lot about Simon Parkes, and we've done stuff in the background around that, and talked to some people and made connections around what's been going on inside the Connecting Consciousness group. You're very much involved with that, but not only that. Let's just quickly plug in here Lyman Sharks. So can you just quickly briefly tell us about Lyman Sharks before we get into this court case today?
Well, Lyman Sharks was created. I don't know. There's just something about this character. He reminds me of somebody that we might know. And I don't know. He's sort of lovable in many ways. He loves cats.
Yeah.
And
wears those adorable jumpers.
Loves knitwear. A big fan of knitwear, and he's got connections. He's really well connected politically, and to all these three-letter agencies. Although he's not very good at keeping secrets about those three-letter agencies. It's just strange.
He's been under an NDA.
Yeah. There's a lot of NDAs. He has a lot of NDAs. He's also a great driver, really steady driver as well, really good, really road safety conscious, big fan of grippy gloves. And
the sketches that you do on Lyman Sharks are hilarious, and I know that people that are familiar with my channel, especially if they're obviously familiar with your channel, will know about Lyman Sharks. And I implore you guys, if you don't know, to go. Intel Lady's channel is fantastic. It's all about satire. It's all about making fun of these situations, which are really quite serious. But it's kind of a bit of what I do, but you do it with kind of impersonations, satire. Great channel, and it really does deserve everyone to go and have a look, especially at Lyman Sharks, who's my favorite character that you do, and is many others. And I think that this comes from Simon Parkes being just such an extraordinary character, I guess.
He is extraordinary, absolutely. I think that's the right word, isn't it? Extraordinary. That's extraordinary. And it's all your fault anyway. It's your fault the whole channel's there. I wouldn't have created it if you didn't exist. So it's all your fault.
Yeah, didn't you say it came from? I think it may be the first Griffbusters, and Charlie Ward had told the cleaning lady that it was working in a bank, He'd phoned up, and the cleaning lady had answered. Go and check it out on my channel. I think it's I've done a few videos on it. Charlie Ward and the cleaning lady. You just search for that. But yeah, apparently a cleaning lady answered, and he asked this cleaning lady about the new quantum financial system computers that have been installed, and she was like, "Oh yeah, they're wonderful," or whatever. Go and see all of that. That actually happened. However, we made fun of it on the first Griftbusters, and one of my friends, who's an actress, I approached her and just said, can you help me with a skit? I want to do something special for this first Griftbusters show. And she was brilliant, and we made this cleaning lady skit.
I mentioned the other day I phoned up the central bank because we were doing something else, and I was having a chat with them. They put me through to a department, and a cleaner picked up the phone.
Sadie, the cleaning lady, with trusty scrubbing brush and pail of water.
I'm like,
hello.
I'm not the Messiah. I'm just Charlie. So can you help me?
Oh no, I'm just a cleaner. I'm not qualified to give financial advice, but I will do my best to be helpful.
Oh, okay. So how's it going in there?
Oh well, it's quite quiet. No one here to answer the phones.
What do you think of the new computer system? It's nice, isn't it?
Oh well, it's beautiful. I've just been cleaning it just now.
When do you think they're going to turn it on then?
Well, I suppose I haven't signed any non-disclosure agreement, so I can tell any Tom, Dick and Charlie about it. I think it will be the beginning of April. Not long now.
Because she's not under an NDA, she's just being helpful. And I was being naughty.
You are being naughty now. I really must get back to work. These supercomputers are not going to clean themselves.
I really should approach her to see if she wants to come on your channel or wants to do more of these skits. But yeah, she did that. And I think you said before that you saw that and you thought, that's great, and I could do that, and I could do it well. And I mean, is that right? And then you went on to make the channel.
She inspired me, yeah. And I mean, acting is my background. I was acting professionally until I had children, and so I thought, actually, yeah, maybe I need to throw in a couple of sketches into Griftbusters and see if they like it. And I didn't know whether you would or not, and then you did. I was like, oh, okay.
Absolutely loved it. Hilarious. Yeah. And I think that the highlight of Griftbusters, to be honest, I think what a lot of people look forward to is seeing those the sketches, the satire. I think people do know that Griftbusters has this humor element about it. Some people call it childish, immature, whatever. Each to their own. We do a lot of serious videos. We deal with a lot of serious topics, and it is draining and it is depressing sometimes. And I think that there's just there's something unique, not only about what's done on the Griftbusters show, not only about what I can do, what others can do that we know, to add some sort of comedic element to this, but there's definitely something unique to what you do. I think that more people need to appreciate that. So you're here today, and your links in the description. People go, and if you haven't already, subscribe to Intel Lady.
Please do.
I've brought Jen along of the Intel Lady channel today to support me and bounce off me with this very important video around this court case. There is something that really needs to be exposed here. Now, I did this video before, as I said, with the court case, and I didn't really take in. I'd been off for a while. I'd been sent a lot of stuff. I didn't really I did it quite impulsively because I was like, hang on a minute. He's saying that I've disappeared because of that. I'm going to bring this video on. And even you can see through the video, me and Maria are like, oh, okay, so maybe not talk about me. They're talking about the BBC. But there's a massively bigger picture here. And this needs to be brought to light. So firstly, let me say, I said about 12 coordinators from CC had left from that video, from the videos that me and Maria had done, or maybe through the aftermath of that. So Simon silence in it, them not being able to talk about it, etc. So let me elaborate on that firstly. So it's now been counted through reliable sources that are within the CC, who are ex-coordinators of the CC, that over 75 have left from CC worldwide in the last year or so. More coordinators are being thrown out, and this is because the cult within is becoming increasingly obvious as the volunteers are being demanded to do certain things. And many are also leaving because Simon is becoming obvious in his lies, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back to the story. The story of the fictitious BBC lawsuit goes way back to June 2020, right?
Yeah.
And the BBC did a hit piece on Simon regarding the 5G BioShield. Remember that? You know, the USB,
The USB sticks. Yeah.
yeah. And this
Worth
just wasn't covered.
$2.99.
Sorry?
Worth $2.99 on
Worth
eBay.
$2.99, but that's not what they were charging for them, right?
No.
No. They're charging. Do you remember how much they were charging? I don't have that offhand.
I think it was £350. I think roughly about that ballpark. I think
There was many investigations made about this, and one of them, you know, I remember I watched, and it was that it was like a $2.99 USB stick, and it had a sticker on it, and that was about it. But they were claiming it was a BioShield. Stick it in your wherever, stick it in your computer, whatever, and it would give you shielding from 5G. Sounds ridiculous. Is ridiculous. You know, who knows with technology, I suppose, at times, but actually looking into this, and the people that did look into this saw that it was a scam. It was a $2.99 USB stick. Let's go back to where I was. So the BBC did a hit piece on Simon regarding the BioShield, the 5G BioShield, and claimed it was a fraud. He is. So he claimed that it was so egregious that he had no choice but to sue them, right? And in truth, this was a grand opportunity to collect money from his members. So you're getting it now, right? So he collected money from the members and kept creating the narrative of a David versus Goliath situation. And you can imagine many people that are, you know, in these circles, in our circles even, and perhaps rightly so, you know, well, I say perhaps, you know, rightly so, do not believe in mainstream media and do not trust the BBC. There's many reasons why people would have this mistrust. So
of course.
Simon saying, look, I'm taking BBC to court and donate to the cause, obviously had a lot of people going, you know what, take them down, Simon. Here you go, money, take them down. And that's what happened. So he collected money from members and he kept this narrative going. Everybody wants to root for the underdog, no? Right?
Of course, yeah.
So the money came pouring in for this BBC case. And what did he do with this money? He never sued the BBC, and that is what is important. Oh, shock horror. He never sued the BBC, and ask him to prove that he did. Now, in his videos, in this video that I showed in my last video, he's saying about how he sued the BBC and how stuff will come out soon. It will never, and my words, will not come out because he never sued the BBC, and he's trying to save face because he sued two other guys.
There's always somebody who wants to have a go at truthers, whether it's me, Charlie Ward, or Mel Kay, or Anne van der Steel, or anybody really. There's always somebody, and either because they're misguided, or because they're a paid agent, or they're just got a devil in them. And 2 years ago, I decided to take legal action against the BBC, actually, and a couple of people. One of the persons was working with the BBC, and I won the court case. That would delight you, delighted me. And I still can't talk about it yet openly, but what I can tell you is that as part of the court's decision, the defendants, the number one defendant, has just emailed everybody that he originally put false allegations out about me. And in those emails, he's now apologised. And there's a standard apology which has been agreed with my legal team and his legal team. And so if you are one of those people who received an email from this guy, I'm not going to mention his name at the moment, you'll know if you did, accusing me of just about everything and anything. Hopefully you've got your email from him unreservedly apologising, saying he knows now it wasn't true and that he shouldn't have done it. When this is cleared fully through court, because there's another person who also was involved with him, who's disappeared, and we're having to search for him, to bring him to court again. So, we will have court evidence and documents to lay before we publicly when it's okay to do so.
Now, the thing is, he mixes the truth about what happened with his lie. And he's getting caught up on it. And his members, the issue he has now is his members threw money at this BBC case. So he's been saying, oh, yeah, it's the BBC I'm taking him to court. And it wasn't. It was two other guys that made a video about him. So now he's trying to save face by going, oh, there's these two guys. Oh, no, but it's the BBC, right? And his members are going, hang on a minute. What happened to our money that we sent? Did you really sue the BBC? Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, you'll find out about it. There's nothing. He didn't do it. And many CC members are going to they're already questioning it without me, without this input anyway. They already suspect, they already know, right? They're already not seeing anything. They're not seeing, they just like, hang on a minute, but you're telling us that but it didn't happen. I can't see nothing. Okay. Oh, you're going to tell us about it. You're going to show us some stuff soon. Didn't happen. That is mind blowing. If that doesn't stop people trusting this man, then nothing will, especially for those. And the people that obviously gave money to him, a lot of them are his biggest followers, the most trusting followers. But, all these people, some might not be intelligent. Most of them are intelligent. Most of them are good people. And, it's a shame. But it's the reality here. And that is the problem now, is there's so many lies. Even a good liar can lie for 7 years, start with cat aliens and sex and having cat alien children.
This is the alien being that I call Mum. Now, it clearly isn't my mother, because I'm human. This alien being has adopted me, and so I refer to it as Mum.
So how often do you see your mum?
I would say probably once a month, twice a month, depending. That is the being that I claim to have sexual relations with. So I don't have a name. All I refer to her as is the cat queen.
So you have sex with her?
Yes.
How often?
Probably 4 times a year.
So do you have any alien children?
You're looking at one here. This is the name, Zaka.
End up being a part of the Trump's team of white hats and red beds. Eventually, they'll get caught out on a lie or many lies. He's been caught out on many failed predictions and other lies. But now, when it comes to members giving him money to do something and him doing something else, and this is a story we've heard before with other grifters, it's outrageous. And it's caused outrage within and a lot of contempt. And rightly so. Rightly so.
Oh, yeah, of course. Especially if you've been one of those people who donated to the cause.
Some of these people, coordinators, some of these top people who, by the way, are not... and people within and people that were within will know they're not respected. They're not given the due appreciation. And so many people that used to be members were kicked out at a drop of a hat for something very small that has angered him, or trying to connect with others. It's all very compartmentalized there. And if they try to run events that were not sanctioned by Simon or whatever, they just get kicked out. And yet they've done years of work supporting people, supporting members. And CC isn't a bad place in general. It's not like everyone there is evil or anything. It's managed badly, and the people at the top are not honest people, I would say.
I would agree. But don't forget, it just seems to be, when you say, oh, surely this will make make them realize, you know, that, well, surely him not living in America right now would make some of his members realize. But yet, because don't forget, his security detail was being positioned in Arizona and in Florida and in New Hampshire and all these other parts of America that he was apparently going to be living in, and was supposed to be, but then somehow that got put back and then never happened, and he didn't discuss it ever again. And yet his
apparently,
members,
actually, I was told. He then said, "Oh, they've told me now that I only have to be there a couple of months per year."
okay.
So, I mean, I don't know how long ago that was. I mean, I suppose it may be nearly a year ago that he told his members he was moving. So, I suppose his time in America should be coming up soon. And if it doesn't, but then how can you tell that? Because his room, he just changed the room around a bit. I'm in America now. Who knows? He only really
the bric-a-brac shop. Well, I don't know. I mean, also you have to take into account that if he is going for a couple of times a year, presumably he's going by boat, because remember, for those members of CC who have been with him for a very long time will all be able to remember him saying that he doesn't fly. He does not fly. I don't fly.
Ain't getting a little plane.
Ain't getting a little plane. Yeah, he's the British BA, isn't he? He's the British BA. And he doesn't get on planes. He doesn't fly. So presumably, he's going to take that long boat trip, isn't he? From the UK to whatever part of the US. He's going to be a couple of times a year. Totally plausible, totally believable. I mean,
it's just a load of bollocks. Come on.
Yeah.
He's not. I mean, if he goes to America, he will go on a short trip and take some pictures. Hey, I'm here. If he gets in, and he'll be like, "I'm here for." I only needed to be here for 3 days. That's all they needed from me this year. It's going to be some other excuse.
Of course.
Yeah.
Always
is.
Moving
on from that, there's always an excuse with him, isn't there? Generally. There's so much more to say about this court case, and I want to try and keep on track. So he never sued the BBC. That is the major point here, because that's what he's telling people still. He told people recently, he's been telling people all along, oh, it's the BBC I sued. It wasn't. It was two guys. I won't say their name. He took to court. They lost on a technicality. And I say a technicality. They were basically outpriced whilst through this court case. If you guys ask, and actually there is public information out there you can find on this case, so you can go and find out about it yourselves. But it was not the BBC. It was two guys who made a video. Now, this video got scrubbed from the internet, for this defamation case, right? It got scrubbed from the internet. I have access to it, but it's gone publicly. And it simply is because they couldn't afford to carry on with court. Their defense wasn't compiled properly. So, regardless, there was nothing to do with the BBC, but he's telling people there was, and that's what's important here. That's the big lie. That's where he's lying to his followers and the people that his patrons, the people that are giving him money for this court case. What he did, he didn't spend it on the BBC, which he said he was doing. He took a couple of other individuals to court. And if he asks you for some more BBC suing money, he's probably because he wants to try and take me to court. But I don't think he ever could, because what I'll go into, which is discovery, and and that's why myself, Marie, and so many others are safe. And Marie dared him to try and sue her, and there's just so much that he wouldn't dare touch, and people are also, after all of this talk of threatening of legal action from him and stuff, people are wondering why some things still stand, why Marie hasn't been taken to court, for instance, and it's simply because. And it's the main reason why he is going, I won this court case. So, thankfully, trial by social media is not happening because I won the court case. And what that was the point of my last video was, no, you've not won your trial by social media. You won a court case for this reason, for this technicality, and it wasn't even the one you're telling your followers it was.
Yeah.
So there you go. But anyway, back to this. So I know the kind of the real backstory of the BioShield, and I've done my own investigation. There is no way that Simon would ever have gone against the BBC. And the reason is because the real makers of the BioShield would never have allowed that to happen. Simon would have exposed the ruse of the BioShield during the process of discovery, right? And in court, and certain famous people would have been exposed. So I know for a fact that Simon would have never have had that case against the BBC. Not to mention the fact that he could provide no evidence, and it would be a publicly accessible thing to go and check that course case happened. What he did was to say that he was suing the BBC, and this was a way to collect money from the members. He used that money to mount a lawsuit against the two guys who I will not mention. And when he says he won a case, or one case is plural, he's only ever referring to those two cases. And you and I know that was lost, as I said, on a technicality.
Yeah.
So a psychopath will always reveal who he really is by the statements he makes about others, right?
Absolutely.
So he calls all those who have made statements about him agents and devils and working for
the DS.
the DS. And it's interesting because you can question whether he's saying these things because perhaps he does. Perhaps he is, doing rituals, black magic. Perhaps he is working for, his parents did, organizations. We can only speculate on that. I'll just say perhaps. Perhaps he's part of a disinformation campaign. I'm just throwing that out there. He states that someone working for the BBC made statements, and he won that BBC case that he allegedly launched 2 years ago. He never launched a case against the BBC, and it was never understood to be against one person making some statements. Right? He always said he was suing the BBC, not one person working for the BBC, and not two people either. But he's got mixed up with this. So. He's telling people, oh, yeah, it was BBC. Oh, it was two people. One's on the run. Two,
on the run.
It's just so silly. His story is constantly changing and molding. And if you follow it, you can see the discrepancies. But it's just so hard. He puts out a lot of content. And, people like us just don't need to or have the will to listen to him endlessly. We'll try, and we'll encourage people to send us stuff, especially when he's talking crap.
Yeah.
But we're not going to spend the rest of our lives listening to these people just to say, look, there you go. So we'll do our best, right? So yeah, that's it. Full stop. There was this one case, and that's it. Full stop against these two people. That is true. But that's not what he's telling his people, because they gave him money for something else. So he completely screws up in his own broadcast talk when he starts saying that he sued BBC, and then he talks about one person working for the BBC that made statements against him. So which is it, Simon? Make up your damn mind. Who did you sue? Did you sue BBC? Did you sue one guy? Did you sue two guys? There was never, ever a claim made that this alleged person from BBC sent out any emails making false statements about him. He's going off on his own tangents, and now he's making the public believe, in the same broadcast, that there was a man working for the BBC that was sending out emails and making false statements about him. What? Like, he's just making it up as he records his broadcast. Yeah. I swear, not even planning it ahead, just talking. But so good with, just going ad lib about this stuff. And so
also, just to interrupt you, sorry. Also, the BBC is a massive, massive organization. Is he seriously trying to convince people that one man who's been living in this same little room and broadcasting from this same little room for God knows how many years, but he's just changed his story from sex with aliens to working for Trump as a patriot and the white hats. It is going to go up against a massive broadcasting organization who will be lawyered up to the max. This is a man who, when he was threatening Marie Kiali on JP's show before JP kicks him off his show, he in the same show he was talking about his 4 lawyers. My 4 lawyers have been informed about this and are working on it. In the same show, he was asking for donations to fix his car so he could drive to a ufology conference to talk about sex with aliens. In the same show. In the
4
same
lawyers.
show. So he's got 4 lawyers. Yeah, he's got 4 lawyers on retainer. But please, can you send me money so I can get my car fixed so I can get to my next ufology conference?
What a joke.
I mean, it's amazing how people can listen to that broadcast and still go, oh no, this sounds totally plausible. This guy sounds really honest.
I've got to wonder, not, I mean, that's ridiculous, but the gall of him to think that people would have got, I mean, I know that he's still mentioning the BBC thing, but the gall of him to think that after all that has come out, that is real, that is verifiable, that the people that were I know coordinators that were there during the time of him fundraising for this BBC court case. And is he really that silly to think that people would forget about what's happening? I know there's a new influx, so to say, not as much as he will say what's going on, of members, and a lot of those members, so many of them, when I brought up the cat alien sex and the child and the alien parents and that, so many CC members went, what? Like, you don't know the past about this guy? That was enough for a lot of people to go, oh, hang on a minute, this guy's is nuts, right? And it shouldn't be the be all and end all, although it is pretty crazy of things. But the fact that he doesn't talk about it anymore, when have you seen him mention how's Saka, how's his cat alien son doing these days? Is where is he now? He must be doing GCSEs by now. Like, that narrative's gone, and that has shocked many people. And it's not like it's not out there for people. It was on bloody Channel 4. He was on the Good Morning show.
Yeah.
With Holly Willoughby and bloody what's his face?
Philip Schofield. He was on with Scof and Willoughby.
It's not like it wasn't publicised.
One man who definitely believes in aliens is Labour councillor Simon Parkes. What's more, he claims he's having an affair with one, and after the story hit the headlines, he's now facing calls to quit.
Yes, indeed. My first memories are very, very early.
So in the womb?
Yes.
Let's get back into this because we need to stay on track here. But there is so much we could talk about. We need to do another show. But there was a BBC broadcast covering the BioShield and the connecting Simon as a scam artist, which he is. But he is not the creator of the BioShield in the first instance. Someone else is, and Simon would not want to piss off that person, I speculate. So the next point is, what apology email is he now talking about that allegedly now comes from the defendant from the BBC case? So apparently he'd said in that recent video, I don't know if you saw it, that everyone should have received an email now, an email of apology from the people from the court case when they lost. That was a stipulation that they had to send an email, and many of you will have got that. Some of you may have not. Bullshit. I said I said someone send me that. Surely someone send me that, and I suspect that maybe he did to a few people from a fake account send his emails. Maybe it's people that he really, really trusts that would not, that just would believe it. Will either be easily duped or just would not send that to me or anyone else. But seriously, guys, prove it. Send that to us. Let's have a look at that apology email.
The number one defendant has just emailed everybody that he originally put false allegations out about me. and in those emails, he's now apologised. And there's a standard apology which has been agreed with my legal team and his legal team. And so if you are one of those people who received an email from this guy, I'm not going to mention his name at the moment, and you'll know if you did, accusing me of just about everything and anything, hopefully you've got your email from him unreservedly apologising.
So allegedly now comes from one defendant from the BBC. Now, again, did you sue the BBC or one person? Right? Why does Simon not make that apology public? So that's what I want to know. Why not send it out to members as proof there has been an apology and a finality to this lawsuit? That would surely, he would be very quick to share that everywhere. Look what the BBC have done. Look what the guy I sued has done. Right? From the BBC. You gave me this money. Here you go. Here's the end of it. And I won. He's sitting there saying, I won. We won. I'm vindicated of anything now.
Yeah.
No, it's just another lie. It's more fantasy. And he claims that another person connected to the BBC defendant that cannot be found, that's disappeared, as we laughed about earlier. It's all fantasy. So he claims he put out the evidence. So why not just put out the letter the alleged defendant had put out as part of his loss? I mean, why not? I mean, the court case is over. He won, right? Let's make it all clear. Let's clear it all up, Simon. Was it the BBC or not? Let's because we know it's not. The next point to make is members have never, ever requested that he sue anybody or that Simon should clear his name or anything else. So this is something else that he was saying in there. He was saying, well, people give me pressure, or why aren't you suing them? You need to clear your name. And he was like, oh, and so I have to, whatever. It's just a lie. Like what the members have questioned is that the BBC case that was allegedly mounted, and this is because they contributed money to it. Of course, they would want to know what's going on with that. Why haven't you not told us more about that? That's what we gave you money for. So what the members don't know is that he never had a case against the BBC, as I've stated, and that is what this video is about.
Yeah.
He has no real news on this finality because it wasn't true. So, and watch his face in the video, and I'll try and put a clip in here of him saying it. Watch his face when he mentions the BBC, and watch closely. Whilst he is a pathological liar, even he gives himself away on this one, right?
2 years ago, I decided to take legal action against the BBC, actually, and a couple of people. One of the persons was working with the BBC.
When he details what happened in the alleged court case, in which he mixes so many things, he is lying through his teeth. Even if there was a real BBC case, there is never a time when the defence lawyer would throw out his own client under the bus. This is another thing that he said. As he alleges, he claims that the defendant had proof, but would not show it to the courts.
What?
Are you kidding me? So the defendant had proof against him, but they couldn't. They would not show it to the court.
In fact, even the defendant's own QC, Queen's Counsel, said in open court, he said, I have told my client that if he cannot prove this charge, it will lead to very extensive costs and damages against him. So that was a big moment in the court. So then the judge said, well, you better bring forward the evidence. And they refused to show the court the evidence. Now, I was in court all the time. They refused to show it. This so-called damning evidence, they refused to show it. So the judge then turned to my team and said, do you know what they're talking about? We said, yes, we do. We've got copies of it because they've sent it to us. So the judge said, are you prepared to show it? So my legal team had a QC, didn't even need to ask me. He said, yeah, of course, my lord. So the evidence was given. It took him about 2 minutes. The judge looked through it. And then his judgment was that he threw the other two out because there was no substantiating evidence at all.
It's like it just would not happen. I mean, for a start, I'm sure that the people prosecuting would have copies of this, right?
Yes.
That they could go to court. Why wouldn't they?
Mhm.
Why would this not be read out in court? Why would it just? It's just.
How sloppy are these BBC lawyers? I mean, where did he get them from? Lawyers are us. It's like the worst. I mean, it's just not believable. The BBC are going to pay top whack for the best lawyers in the land to clear their name or to win any court case against them. They're not going to bring in people who are sloppy and go, oh, should we do this? And we don't know. It's not, to me, to you, it's not the Chucky brothers.
I've got a Chucky Brothers meme for this one. Yeah,
but it's so ridiculous. It's just so it's oh, bless him for that, bless him that he thinks people are going to believe this kind of nonsense. It's just I mean, actually, do you know what it is? It's so disrespectful to his followers. It's so disrespectful that he clearly thinks they're that stupid that they would listen, that they would fall for this kind of thing. And I don't think his followers are stupid. I think they've bought into a lie and they haven't researched as far back as they need to when it comes to this man, and they are trusting him. And it's because of the voice, isn't it? It's because of
the voice and the sweaters.
It's the accent, it's the sweaters, it's the cats, it's the distraction of the cats as well. It's just when the dog jumps on his lap and he goes, "Get down, darling, come on." No, just sorry, just wanted to make an appearance. And it's all of that. And they're like, "Oh, he seems so honest and sweet and kind." He's been playing this game for a long time, hasn't he? So he knows the patter. I know the patter. And I know when I look down my glasses at the camera and I say, my lawyers are more than aware of what's going on here. And they will be in touch. There will be. You can't say these things, can't say mean things to me. I won't have it. Freedom of speech and all that, and I believe in it. I totally do. I absolutely do. But also, I will sue you if you do the freedom of speech thing. I'm just saying. I'm just making it clear. It's a joke, isn't it? It's just an absolute bloody joke.
And I agree with you. The members of Connected Consciousness are not unintelligent people by any stretch. In fact, a lot of them are, awakened people, or open-minded, critical people, good people. Yeah. A lot of them, and I think that the problem is with a lot of people that are still hanging on is there's cognitive dissonance that comes into play with some of them. Yeah. They just want to believe, and it's hard to be told anything different. For some of them, it's just they've invested so much, and they really are finding it hard to carry on believing him. They've still got his back, but it's just like, Simon, we can only be here so long without feeling completely dumb for being here, which I think a lot of people are kind of at that stage. Like, I feel dumb now. I'm still hanging on, but you better not let me down. And that's a horrible place to be in. And I think other people are kind of like, it smells like bullshit, but I'm here. And I think a lot of people are saying that it smells like bullshit. I'm not sure I trust the man anymore, but the organization and the people that are within my group, within my area, I love these people to pieces. I love the connections we've made. And that's why there's splinter groups happening now, where people are leaving and making their own groups.
Yeah.
Which is strictly forbidden, and is strictly why the whole thing is compartmentalized. How do you best prepare and stop a revolt? Well, you make everyone not being able to talk to each other. That's how you stop bad information getting around. You make it so the Americans can't talk to the Canadians, the people in New York can't talk to the people in New Jersey, even. Who knows?
I think they can now.
Yeah, well, they can now. Let's get back to it. So, I've noted that, like all pathological liars, get that out of my mouth, there is always a moment where the story becomes fantasy, and pathological liars know they are so good at lying, yeah, that sometimes it can take years before you figure out that they are a pathological liar, even if they're making some quite extraordinary claims. In the meantime, they get cocky, and so they get bold in their storytelling. And I've noticed since about since January of this year, he has stretched his stories where many are beginning to question. Not that they weren't before, but many this year are beginning to question. And just to say, he does not have a growing organisation. This is also a lie. The organisation flatlined for many months now. Maybe the whole of this year has flatlined, right? No matter how many sign up and become a record in his database, there's only ever max 7% that participate. So he has at most 7,000 members worldwide that go to virtual meetings and maybe meet up. Yeah, but he's talking 100,000s, millions. He's talking a lot of people.
Billions, actually, billions.
Did you say billions?
Hundreds of billions.
Why not
Even
trillions?
more.
Why not? Why not? I've got trillions of members. Who knows? No, he's got about 7,000 people that actually worldwide actually do the meetings and stuff. So
yeah.
He's been handed his arse so many times in the past few months. It is obvious to us insiders that he is spiraling. And I say insiders, I mean that by the people that are still in Connecting Consciousness, the people that were in there. I mean the group of people that are keeping an eye on this. So it's so obvious that he's spiraling. He's become so increasingly threatening to me, to everyone, to so many different people, to Marie, he's threatening all the time, to Kevin Moore. Just always, legal actions. My lawyers are watching. I've got four lawyers watching your stream.
All four of them.
It's become increasingly threatening and sloppy, and in doing so, he's waking up his own members because they're questioning why. Why are you reacting like this? You look rattled. And he is, and he's making mistakes. It's become a thing. It's become a thing of his to legally threaten everyone, which is a sign of weakness, and it's just being picked up. It's silly. So I think that's all I want to really say on this. The main takeaway is he's been saying he's sued the BBC. He never sued the BBC. He took money off of his members, many who may be watching now, to sue the BBC. He never did ask him for proof.
Always ask for proof. If you've donated for something, for a specific thing, like someone's got to fight a case, ask for proof. See, it's not confidential when it's done and it's dusted and there's been a result. You should be able to prove it. You should be able to produce the goods and show something. Even if you redact personal information, you can show something, surely, that proves it. Or maybe a statement from the BBC. Perhaps we need to contact the BBC and ask for a statement from them about the court case that they lost against Simon Parks regarding the BioShield stuff. See what the BBC have to say.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I do know of this one documentary that was on Channel 4 where it's what you say is right. Yes, it will be out there in the public domain. There is information out there in the public domain about the only court case that he had going on, that he has won. And I am aware of him legally threatening and starting legal action against someone else. I won't go into that because I don't want to compromise that. But, it was someone who was within CC, and people in CC know about it. And Simon will get his arse handed to him if he carries on down that route.
Yeah.
And that's all I'll say. There's discovery in these things, and he was very lucky to get off as he did with the first one. But oh my God, is he telling us all about it? But it certainly wasn't the BBC. And note that in connected consciousness groups, especially people that coordinators that are giving him money, he's lying about it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that, and it's being exposed here now.
That's what we do.
Don't we just love it? Being the good guys against a world full of bad guys and grifters and people who are there taking your money. Yeah.
Sad state of affairs. I just hope more people wake up and, as they always tell them to, connect the dots. You connect the dots. Do your own research. Actually, just do your own research. Actually, don't take the word of this person. And I think there's a little bit of laziness and sloppiness with people who follow these grifters, in that they do take their word for it. They do. They just do. I think we can all get a bit complacent sometimes, and we just go, "Oh, I know, but so-and-so said it. Kerry Cassidy said it, so it's probably true." And the thing is, if you actually do your research on these people and you look into their background and all the things that they've said, and who they get their information from, who's feeding them their stuff, you realize that, okay, yeah, I don't think this person is that credible, that trustworthy. You do have to do your own research, and that's what we do. Well, it's certainly what you do. I can't say that I do that. I just put on wigs and
you do. You do. You come to me sometimes and you go, "Have you seen this?" We do our own research, or we do get sent research from others, and all of our efforts help. And I think this video will certainly help a lot of people.
I really hope so, and I hope that it must be really, really difficult in these spiritual groups, and I understand that is that when your intuition is screaming at you, this isn't right, this isn't right, this isn't right, but your pride and your ego is overtaking that and going, it has to be right, it has to be real, this person has to be telling me the truth. So and it's difficult when you're a spiritual person, you ignore what your gut instinct is telling you, what your intuition is telling you. And it's screaming and screaming and screaming, this isn't right, this isn't right, warning, warning, warning. And you get that feeling in your gut like something's just turned over. That's your intuition telling you this isn't right. But if you really want that person to be right, there's a battle of wills going on, the will between the ego and the intuition. And for a spiritual person, that is very, very difficult. And so I can quite understand why members of that group, who are deeply spiritual people, do not want him to be wrong, do not want him to be a liar, because they have invested so much and put so much faith in this person's words and this person's promises. So I feel terribly sorry for those people, because I don't think that the members are bad. And yes, they are, so I hear, going off and starting up their own spiritual groups, which I think is a wonderful thing, and I wish them all the luck with it, because they found their tribe, they found their community, and they want to come together and do good things. More power to them. I hope that they continue. I hope those that are still stuck within that organization find a way to listen a little bit harder to their intuition and go, okay, I think this sounds like bollocks, to be honest. I think we need to reevaluate this situation and step away from it. But only they can come to that decision. We can lead them to it. We can guide them in the best way and give them all the information and put it out there.
Water.
They've got to do the rest. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I agree with your words. Thank you for sharing them. And I do wish the best for all those still in CC, especially those taking the time to listen to this. Thank you for joining us and being open-minded and trying to get yourself out of the mindset, or if you are even still in the mindset. I think there's probably still plenty of members in CC who think that Simon is a scammer, but is still there because of the people there. And all the power to the people that have left and are carrying on their communities without Simon as the head of it, you know, as the
Yeah.
head of the snake. All the power to those people. And Jen, it's been great to bounce off you tonight regarding this. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
Guys, thank you for listening. I've been M Secret Truth. I've been here with Jen of Intel Lady channel. Her links will be in the description of the video. And until next time, take care.